Hello, everyone. My name is Anne, and welcome back to Book Review. I would probably have to find a name for this at some point. Anybody have any ideas? So this is obviously my first YouTube videos. You can tell in the quality and the and the fact that I'm not doing it 16 times. I am not taking this too seriously just because, it is merely just a little side project, love baby, whatever. I read quite a bit. I am a huge book nerd, and my partner Dwayne asked me to do reviews and put them on YouTube. Said, "What's the worst that could happen? Nothing else. You do a review after you read a book." And I'm like, I can do that for you. So here I am, trying to be a good partner and just doing what my partner asked. As I said in my other video, I am a recently graduated environmental scientist and a mom. My children just went back to school after me doing my bachelor's and homeschooling them for the last couple years, and then COVID. So I guess I homeschooled for 3 years. Then they went to school except for my younger one, and then we COVID. So right before I go back into the workforce, this is what he asked me to do, and I try to be accommodating without bending over backwards. Anyways, okay, so the book we're reviewing today. Last week we reviewed yesterday. It's today. This is today. Anyways, I did Nora Roberts' Tribute. Pretty good book. Not one I'll just spend a fortune on, or I would read a lot. Probably wouldn't say it's my favorite book, but Nora Roberts is a very good storyteller. And I was intrigued in the story that she created. I'm impressed that she can have so many beautifully fleshed characters. They seem so real. So the book we're doing today is 50 Shades Freed. This is the third book in the E.L. James 50 Shades of Grey series. I didn't even know they had a movie, by the way. That was new to me. I was like, what? I think I remember them saying that there was a first movie, but I just found out that there's 3. I'm like, what? Didn't even know. Anyways, I hadn't read the other ones in a minute. This was a Christmas present, so somebody spent $16 on this book. I'm not spending that on the book. I will go to Thrifty Books, which I talked about last week, and I'll see if I can put like a link or something here. Thrifty Books is amazing. I'm not sure if it's international. I do know in the United States, if you spend more than $10 on the book, then you get your shipping for free. So if you spend more than $10 on the books, and you can get this guy, I just looked it up. It was between $4 and $5 on Thrifty Books. What I love about Thrifty Books is the more books you buy, the more points you get to move up, and then you get like a free book. And I've gotten a couple now that are really awesome, and they usually come in great condition. So some of these, but this is a book from Thrifty Books. It's I will be reviewing this guy next. It's a very good condition, and I think I maybe paid $5 for that, maybe $8. Again, very good condition books. Thrifty Books, and shipping is free. And this guy, I think I paid maybe $10-11 for, which we'll talk about that. Anyways, so back to the 50 Shades Freed. What I like about 50 Shades Freed is that I'm a versatile, not lover, that's not the right word. I like all sorts of books and intimacy levels. The fact that this has bondage in it is probably a little too intense for some people. They do have all sorts of play in there. And so if you are not into that, if you like vanilla, I don't think that you will get a kick out of bondage, which I feel like if you haven't come across these yet and you didn't know that, I would be very, very, very surprised, because I'm pretty sure it caused a sensation whenever it first came out because of the bondage elements, and there's handcuffs on the front. So there is bondage. Well, I guess it's like dominant and subservient. I'm actually not fully sure on all of the terms of that because I didn't research it. I would call it fun occasionally, depending on who your partner is, but I don't know. I don't know for sure because I'm not into that realm. But it's interesting to read about. That's what I think I love about reading, is that you don't have to actually be in the world to enjoy it. So that is first off, obviously, the second thing is there is a trigger in this. If you are a feminist at all, it's probably going to be a little difficult to read. He has serious mantrums in this, and sometimes that is just not the cutest thing to read, and he loses his mind about things. But on the flip side of that, I feel like she also kind of has moments where she blows these small things way out of proportion. Some people might call that marriage. which is fair for how controlling he is. But that's whole part of the story, part of the book, and I still found the story enjoyable. Again, I would pay like five, six. I think I'd probably pay $6 for this one, and I do have a sticker, which I don't know if I mentioned in this one. That means I would read again. I still keep all of my books just in case I want to reread, because I love to reread books. But I don't think that if it doesn't have a sticker, that means I probably wouldn't go for that one. I would reread this series, but I think I would reread the series so I could watch the show. And like I said, I haven't read the first and the second one in a very long time. But I found after reading it that I really did enjoy the book. After that long spell, I was like, oh yeah, these are pretty good. These are pretty decent. In the book, this is taking place after they get married, which, spoiler, sorry if you didn't know that they were gonna get married. I hope that I didn't spoil that for anybody, but it's literally in the very beginning of the book, and then they kind of go back and talk about the wedding. It enters in with them on their honeymoon, which I found very, very cute and normal. Again, I was reading a review about a book, and they kind of had a pet peeve on the whole millionaire situations in books where they have all this leisurely time, and I am not wealthy by any means. I did not come from wealth. But it seems really strange because it seems like the way to get there is through a lot of time commitment. And it's very strange to me that this character, Christian Grey, has all of this time to take off and spend with her. And I'm pretty sure, again, if there is anybody that's entrepreneur and wealthy, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's not something that you have if you have multiple businesses. And we're talking billion-dollar businesses. You're not going to have a ton of time. Schedule is going to be really important, especially if a lot of people's jobs depended on you. You can't just like take off out of nowhere and be gone for days at a time. And the fact that he does that consistently, it's like, do you ever work? Because you see him constantly like emailing her or calling her or showing up at her job, and I'm like, do you actually work? How do you make millions if you're not working? So really strange. I was like, kind of unbelievable, I would think, because I would think that, you would have to actually work to have, millions. Anyways, but his haunted history excuses some of his behavior, but I don't think all of it. And I think that is probably something to take in consideration. I'm just throwing it out there that if you are a feminist and you don't have patience for men's bullshit, this one might be a little rough to read. You might read it and you might have to stop multiple times and just be like, oh my God, he's such a, like, girl, leave. Like, the other thing that I forgot how young she is. Whenever she mentioned how young she was in the book, I was like, holy Lord, you are a wee baby. Who the hell let you get married? I was like, totally joking. No offense to anybody that is married young. I obviously had kids very young. I don't think I mentioned I have a 15-year-old. So yes, very young. But in general, good book. As long as you're able to go along for the ride and not get super offended by their seemingly extremely unhealthy relationship. But somehow works for them. So no judgment. Right? That, again, hope that probably wasn't very helpful as well. If anybody has any